Hello, fiber friends. We are into fall. It has been a long time since I've recorded, but we're here now. Finally. Fall seems to be a lot. It's busy. Do you like my new sticker? It says, I'd rather be spinning. I went into my local yarn shop. I haven't been there in months because it's been so busy. And I walked in and Helen, who is the owner, was like, I have something for you. And she gave me this sticker. I love it. My mom got me this. So I was like, hey, I can put it on my new Stanley. Where do I start? How do we start these videos? Welcome, I'm Kristen. And you can find me on Instagram as just vintage, same as YouTube. And this is where I get to talk all about my love of fiber and wool, and spinning, and knitting with hand spun, and all that fun stuff. Okay, I want to talk about, and we're gonna get started. We'll talk about this later. I don't know why I'm holding it. Okay, finished objects. The first one I do not have. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen a finished object, and that was my Alpenglow. But my mom currently has that. She was going up to the mountains in Tennessee, and it's chilly up there right now. So I offered to let her borrow it to keep her warm. I actually don't know if she wore it while she was up there, but we will talk about that on the next episode. Today, we will chat about my Lento. So I cast this on after the Alpenglow, and this is it. It's too warm to wear it. I guess I could try to put it on. I don't want to start sweating. So I live in Florida, if you didn't know. And while we've had a few cooler days in the 70s, it's back into the 80s now. But this is it. Just a simple raglan. What do you think? I'm gonna take it off before I get warm. Okay, so let's talk about it. I have notes. Okay, so this is by Jonah Hayatella, probably ruining that name. And she is the same designer that designed the Sealess sweater. So I knit that at the beginning of the year. I love that sweater so much. It knit up so quick. I knit that with hand spun, hand processed fleece, hand spun yarn. I loved it. I made a lot of modifications because my hand spun was way different than the yarn it called for. I actually bought yarn, like that yarn, to knit another one just to see the difference. But we have not cast it on yet. We cast on the Lento, which I think of as like the sister sweater to the Selah. I knit a size 1, and I went down needle sizes 1 to hit gauge, but also this, I think, do I have it written down? So the pattern called for 5 inches of positive ease, and the smallest size was 8 inches of positive ease on me. So I was like, well, I can go down. 1, help with gauge, kind of a tighter gauge, not because I wanted a tighter gauge, I just didn't want a ton of positive ease. It has, as you can probably tell, a lot of positive ease, which I don't mind. Like, this is a store-bought shirt. It's got a lot of ease. It's my favorite. I plan on using this like as a pattern to knit an identical one because I love it. Okay, the yarn used is right here. Oh, it's falling. So we used toad hollow. This is Superwash, the Princess Bride collection in the color Have Fun Storming the Castle. So you can see it's like gray with some like mauviness in it. And we held that with this Lanes du Nord Cash Silk Light. It's this fuzzy, super fuzzy cashmere. I love it. Okay, so we held these two together. We got this. Now what really made me cast this on was, like I said, I love the seetless sweater, but also it popped up in my Ravelry for you quite a few times, and I just like looked past it, and then I clicked on it, realized it was from Lina magazine and like the same designer as the Sela. And then I realized it only took 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn, which I have. I knew I had this gray, and I had been thinking, like not actively searching, but thinking of ways to use up that stashed yarn, specifically like the superwash in my stash. And I seen that it only needed 2 skeins for my size, and I was like, hello, I can do that. So we did, and I really like it. It's just so soft and cozy. It's not extremely warm because it's superwash, but also it's got the fuzzy cashmere, so it is warm. But I think it'll be great in the winter. Like I won't need a jacket or anything. I can just throw on my sweater. What else do I want to say? Oh, I did. So it didn't call for any like body decreases, but I did really like the Sela. So the Sela, right before you started the ribbing, I had you do like a rapid decrease and then start the ribbing. I really like that. So I did that for this. And then the arms are a bit, they're not too short. I tend to like my sleeves a bit longer. But you see, a funny thing happened where I didn't run out of yarn, but like I was finishing up a ball of yarn at the end of this sleeve. And I think I needed to do 1 or 2 more rows of ribbing. It might have been 2 rows of ribbing, but I knew I would have had to break into another ball of yarn. And I was like, it's only 2 rows. I don't need to do that. I kind of wish I did. So I ended the ribbing a row or 2. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 rows. I kind of wish I wouldn't have, only because it would have only been like 1 centimeter longer, but like that 1 centimeter I think would have made a difference. So when I blocked it, I did kind of stretch, I didn't pin anything out, but I did kind of give it a little like tug to stretch out. And when it was done drying and I tried it on, they were perfect. Like they kind of hit, I don't know, like right here, which is nice for me. Now, as it's been worn, my daughter wore it to dance, I've worn it around the house. It's kind of shrunk up a little bit, which I was kind of surprised because it's superwash, but also not surprised because this is not superwash. Either way, now it hits kind of bracelet length, maybe a little bit longer than bracelet length. I don't know, but that's what happened. But it's fine. It'll be fine. Okay, what's up next? What do I have next? Oh, finished object number 2. Well, 3, but 2 that I'm showing you is my Sophie scarf. It's a finished object 4 now, and you may be able to see why. So maybe you can, maybe you can't. Can you tell? You can tell. The ends don't match. So can you see how they are different? I don't know how this happened because, so I had 25 grams of knitting for Olive. Nope, that's not it. Compatible cashmere in the colorway powder. And so when you only have like a specific amount, like 25-gram ball, you weigh it, you start knitting, you do the increases, you keep weighing it, and then when you get about halfway, you start the decreasing. So I did that. And I don't know if I messed up my counts on my decreasing or what, but I got down and I was like, I don't have enough yarn to finish the decreasing. So they are not a mirror and they don't match. So part of me wants to rip back to the center, go back a couple rows, and then redo the decreases so we have matching ends. But the other part of me is like, who cares? I don't know. To be determined. TBD on that. But you guys, it is so cozy and soft. This would make an amazing blanket. It would be so expensive to make a blanket, but this garter stitch is squishy compared with this cashmere. It's just so soft. I love it. And of course, I want to make a million. So that's finished object number 2. And we've got a 2.5. I knit these curio socks last year. This is by Andrew Mowry. Oh, Sophie's scar is petite knit, which you guys know. These are Andrew Mowry's curio socks. I knit these last year during her knit along. She does a new sock pattern every fall/winter for the US Thanksgiving. It's like a 4-day weekend. So like knit a socks in a weekend. And I did, but this was before I did 2 at a time. So I knit socks 2 at a time now. It's the only way I will knit them. But I was still knitting 1 at a time. And this was my first sock. And it was really tight right here. Like this area. Like it still is so tight. And my second one was fine. So I thought, well, I can just rip out this afterthought heel, which I hate. I do not like doing an afterthought heel. It's like I can just rip it out and kind of add some length in here to hopefully help this tightness. And I didn't have any more of the main color, but I did have more of the contrast color. So this is dyed by Wee Chickadee, and it is on Target in her cozy colorway. So that's what I did. And it's a little wonky, but it works, and they fit much better now. So those have been sitting, again, like I said, last year, almost a year. I finally just bit the bullet and did it. It did not take long, and now I have a pair of matching socks that I can wear. Here's your sign. If you have a little project like that just sitting, just do it. Just do it. Okay. You may be able to tell. Oh, I forgot to shut this door. I'm in my bedroom. And it's a little different setup. We rearranged the bedroom / fiber area. And in doing so, I lost a bit of storage. And so I had to kind of go through everything. One, everything had to come out of the room to rearrange and then come back in. And while doing that, I kind of went through all my stash. And this isn't really where I'm going with this, but okay. I have quite a few braids that I had doubles of, which I knew. And I had bought them because I had thought I needed 8 ounces of these colorways. Now, through spinning and knitting with my hand spun and just knitting in general and spinning in general, I've come to realize I don't need that much of one colorway unless I plan on using it for a bajillion things. So I took out all my doubles and I don't know what to do with them. I was thinking about doing a destash, but I don't really know where to start with that. I don't even know how to do it. I think you can do it on Ravelry. I guess I could do it like on Instagram. I don't know. Anyways, so I have a bunch of doubles and they're like great colorways. Like this is Rainbow Rust on Cormo from Spindelicious, which is like so great. I don't need 8 ounces of it. Then I was like, well, maybe I could do a giveaway and like one of you guys can like pick which braid you want. Like before we do the destash, I don't know. And then I was like, well, maybe I can just, maybe someone wants all the braids because they're a new spinner and they want all of them. And they can just buy the bundle. I don't know. What are your thoughts? How does this work? Anyways, in doing that, I also went through my whips. And I decided we were frogging 2 of them, which you may not be shocked. I'm not shocked. I knew this was coming. Let's get set up. The first one is the Stria cardigan. Even looking at it doesn't bring me joy. I can't wait to rip this out. It's gonna make me so happy. And it's not the pattern. I will have this cardigan one day. I will knit it. But I will probably buy the yarn that's like in the pattern and knit with that. That's my new plan. Where's my swatch? This was my original swatch. Which one is it? It's this side. And I love it so much. And I knit this. We split sleeves. We got into the body. I ran out of yarn. It was this yarn. I ran out of it. Ordered more. Same colorway from, it's the Ashford Corriedale. Got it. And they are different. Can you tell? They are different grays, which I didn't notice until I started knitting again. And I was like, oh, those are different. And then I was like, it'll be fine. And then I got a little bit more into it and was like, yeah, no, this isn't fine. It's super noticeable. So I ripped it out. And then when I went to cast it on again, I was like, well, I could use the lighter color because I had I had ordered, I think like 12 ounces. So I was like, I have more than enough to do the whole sweater with this. I was like, what if we just, instead of doing the colors, we just kind of make it monotone, which you can see. You can barely see the striping. It's almost like a shadow stripe. I don't like it. I do, but I don't. I like this better. Lesson learned. Go with your original plans. Also, I spun this much finer than the original, which means it's knitting up at a much different gauge. It's just too much. I also don't really love it, so I'm done. I will use this yarn for something else. And it does not make me sad that I'm frogging it, which is a good sign, right? Like if I'm like, yes, it brings me joy to frog this and like get it out of my whip and like I don't like this, like that's good, right? I think so. What are your thoughts? I do plan on making it again. And I do have enough of like the contrast colors to use. So maybe I can just order the main color. I don't know. I feel like I've spun so much for this and I'm like, okay, I'm spun out for this specific particular project. I don't know. Either way, we'll come back to this in a couple years. Maybe knit it again. And we've chatted about this. This is my Shifty pullover. This is Spin Cycle yarn. It is not hand spun. I ordered this from Spin Cycle right when I started spinning. I got into spinning and knitting again. This is not me, which we talked about. Like, this is too much. Like, I'm neutral, like white or black, dark green, maybe like a rusty color, like browns, tans. This is not a Kristen sweater. But we tried it and we realized, yes, this is not what we like. It's also way too big, which I checked my gauge throughout, like even now, like checked it, and it's just like, it's measuring on gauge, so I'm not sure why it's so ginormous. My stitch count, I don't believe is off. I don't know. All right, we finished the body. We did the arm. We got to the ribbing of the arm. That's where we were at. And this is all of the main color I have left. So I have enough to finish the ribbing. And this is it. What? Like, how did this happen? I don't know. And like, I searched, and again, everything came out of my room, which is the only place I have fiber. So we're not missing a skein of yarn. All the skeins are in this. What happened? I'm not sure. But this was my sign of, we're done. This is being frogged, because like, I thought maybe I can like gift this, but like, this is already over $200 of yarn. And if I have to buy another $40 skein, that probably will not match, because this was all bought at once. I had put in the note, like, I'm doing it for the Shifty. Can you make sure like the skeins you're choosing can be used in the, like, for a Shifty? And they all did. They did a great job. The skeins were like perfect matches, as you can tell. But I know if I order another one, the chances of it matching are not going to be high. So it'll be like one random arm. I'm just not. It was my sign. We are going to frog that, reskein all the yarn, and maybe if I don't know that I would use that, because I have so many hand spin skeins. Maybe put it in the D-stash. What's wrong with my hair? I don't know. But again, it brings me joy to frog that. Probably because I've known for a bit, but I wanted to record the video and show that before. So now I'm like, yay, I showed it. I can skein it all up and get rid of it. Okay. What are your thoughts? Does it make you sad? It makes me happy. Okay, so that's that. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. What do we have next? Whips. New cast-ons. So I have a few whips that we've talked about that I've not worked on, so I'm not talking about them again. But do you have a new cast-on? Again, you've probably seen this if you follow me on Instagram, but it's the Sunday sweater by Petite Knit. This is the yarn. It's KOS, K-O-S, by Sandnes Garn, in the colorway Porcelain. It's alpaca. What is it? 62% baby alpaca, 9% wool, 29% nylon. And it's great. It's like super thick yarn, so this is knitting up super fast. Second time knitting this. We knit it down. So I knit it, broke into another ball of yarn, finished that. We weren't all the way done. I don't know, maybe like 6 to 8 inches into the body. And then ran out of that ball, or finished that ball. And then I was like, okay, let's do the sleeves. So cast on the sleeves. We got like halfway done. And I tried it on, and it was just, it's not that it was too big, like it was kind of big. My gauge was just super open up here. Without the weight of the arm, it was like pulling, it like was becoming see-through in my like purl stitches. And I was like, this is not it. So to get to that point where I'm like 3 balls of yarn in, yoke done, body's almost done, half a sleeve done. I think I was on like 6 days of knitting. So it was fairly fast. I was like, you know what? It'll be fine. We'll rip back, redo the thing. So that's what I did. I completely ripped it out, recast on. I did switch my needle size. So I went down a needle size. Similar to the Lento one, my gauge was very open. But also the smallest size in this, I don't know if I have it. I don't think I didn't take notes on this one. It's on my Ravelry project page. I think I've taken notes somewhere. Yes, I have it on Ravelry. The smallest size was too much ease for me again. This is a recurring theme. So hopefully one day pattern designers will make smaller sizes like they make larger sizes. And it usually doesn't bother me because I like a lot of ease. But with this, it was too much. It just felt sloppy, if that makes sense. Even though, again, like I do like a lot of ease. I like things, I don't know. Anyways, we went down needle sizes, and that seems to have fixed the problem. I also played with my purl stitches. We tried the Norwegian purling up here. It was still pretty open. So then about right here, I think I switched to reversing my purling. So going under instead of over. And that seemed to tighten things up and really help. It's not perfect. I mean, it is what it is. I've tried it on. I like it. I think it'll block out nicely. Fingers crossed. So this is where we are. Last night I split for sleeves again, and we are knitting into the body. We will finish this, and then we will pick up the arm, do that arm, pick up this arm, do this arm, and then finish the body and cast off. That is the plan. I need to not say so much. My other cast on, when I was feeling a bit frustrated with this and like having to reknit it, we cast on new socks. So these are the Hermione socks. I've knit these before with commercial yarn, but this is hand spun. So let's show the hand spun first. So this is Dalkus Noir, dyed by Spindelicious on, let's show this side, her Big Cozy sock base, which is, what is this? 80% Targhee, 10% bamboo, 10% silk. It's spun up like a dream. And here's the socks. Can we see? The sun kind of went away behind a cloud. So we got the ribbing, and now we're into the leg. There's a, can kind of see the start of the texture pattern. I'm not a fan of cuff down socks. I love a toe up, trying it on it as you go, like it's just my jam. But this isn't too bad. So we are just knitting these as we go. These are like my Halloween socks, I'm calling them. I'm hoping, my goal is to have them done by Halloween, just because they remind me of like Count Dracula, right? I don't know, maybe that's just me. But it's like so Halloween-y. Halloween-y? That was a movie. Okay, That's not the right page. Okay, so those are my 2 whips that I've been working on. Nothing else has really been worked on other than because we have finished objects. Spinning. We have spinning to chat about. We're about 30 minutes in, so that's good. 30 minutes knitting, 30 minutes spinning. All right, so ever since Tour de Fleece, I've kind of been in a spinning funk. I've had this on my wheel for a while. We've chatted about it, I think. This is Pitter Patter from Nest Fiber. And I just pulled it out of my stash, like, let's just spin this. It's a rambouillet, which I enjoy spinning. I split it into 3 braids. I've got, not 3 braids. I split the braid into 3. One's done. This is the second one, which we're almost done with. And then I have the third one still to spin and then ply. It is just not, I'm just not feeling it. Like, I sit down to spin and I don't even last like 5 minutes before I'm just like, meh, let's go knit. So that's where I was at. And then I don't know what I think as was going through all my things as I was rearranging my room and trying to not get rid of things, but is there anything I can get rid of? Is there anything I can like compile together? Like, what can I do? Because my storage is different. I was like, I really need to do something. What am I gonna do? So I had a huge bin full of these little nestlets. I had bought 2 huge bags from Emily at Wolfine years ago, like when I first got started, like in spinning. And it's like these little like nests of like the ends of dyed fiber. And I had so many. And I was just like, I'm never going to do anything. Like, I'm never going to sit down and just spin these into one yarn. Like, that's not me. It's not my taste in like yarn that I'm going to knit with. And I didn't know what to do. And then I was like, you know what I could do? I could separate them into like somewhat even piles of like similar colors and card them up and have like a not a tonal, like a semi-solid yarn with like peaks of other colors, but kind of like a semi-solid yarn. And that's what we did. And this is what we got. So I divided it into 6 piles. These are 5. Similar colors, some like different colors thrown in there, but similar colors. And this is what we got. So this would be the 6th bag. And I will show you next time. So I will card this up and I will show you next time what this bag will look like. But so we had this was like mostly blues and greens, and we got a mostly blue bat. This is like, this reminds me of like troll hair. Do you remember trolls? This is gonna be so pretty. Let's open it. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, so that's like the mostly blue green with like lots of, it's like my unicorn one. Let's fold you back up. Got this, so it was like mostly purples and blues. With like other colors peeked in. They're all about 50 grams, give or take. You know, some are a little bit more, some are a little bit less, but they're all about 50 grams. And this is my favorite. This is all like the yellows and browns and golds. Let's open you up. Greens and black. It's gonna be so pretty. Okay, so that's what I did. And And this is what we got. We got 5 bats so far. It will be 6 50-gram bats. And I think it will make a really great yarn. We will see. Hodgepodge of different fibers. There's superwash, there's silk, there's Corriedale, there's merino, there's Shetland. Like, we have lots of different things. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to spin that. So maybe next time we'll have some spun up samples. Okay. What are we talking about next? I thought so. I'm excited. Trying to stay on track so we stay focused. Who knows what this is? If you follow me on Instagram, you know. This is, oh, the sun went away. This is alpaca fleece. So I celebrated my birthday this past weekend. And my in-laws sent me 2 alpaca fleeces. Fleeces is the plural, right? So they have an alpaca farm, they're in Michigan, which is where I'm originally from. So there's an alpaca farm. I tagged them in Instagram and I saved an alpaca highlight. Zodiac Ranch, I think. Anyways, they were having an open house and on the farm, and they seen it and they stopped just to see what it was all about. And they were shearing the alpacas, and they thought of me, and they're like, Kristen would spin this, and they got me 2 fleece. How sweet was that? I was so shocked, because no one in our family or circle of friends or anything knit or anything. Well, that's a lie. My grandmother taught me how to crochet, and my mother-in-law does crochet. But no one processes fiber or really thinks about yarn in the way spinners do. So it was just so sweet. Anyways, I'm so excited. I've not worked with alpaca, so this was my first time, and I was excited to just play with it and see. Also, because this is alpaca, so I'd already I was knitting with this, and it's so soft and cozy. I was like, how neat that now I have alpaca fleece. So I took about 90 grams in 2. So we got this white one, and this is Princess Leia, and then we got a brown one, and it's Cinderella. I think I got that right. So I took 90 grams, I washed it, dried it, and then we got to play with it. And you may remember my sampling from the Year of Color, which I'm still working on. We've not made any progress, but we will get there. And I decided to do the same thing with the alpaca. So these are my little 2-gram samples. So we go from 100%, this one's 100% alpaca. This one's a 70-30 alpaca South Down. And then all the rest of them are 50-50 blends from fleece that I have. Wool. They're all wool. So I shared about this on Instagram. I saved it to my highlight so you can see I don't know, more details. So we tried it with Falkland, we tried it with Cormo, we tried it with CVM, we tried it with Shetland, and what fleece was this? My Romney lamb fleece, and this was the CVM Cormo cross that I knit my Sela. Nope. Sela with, so that was this. And then I also, quick little sidestep. So this is a sampler. This is the merino sampler from MellyKnits. And it's 6 samples of merino fleece from all over. I was so excited for this. I've spun merino, but I've not processed any merino fleece, and I've not spun any hand processed merino fleece. So I'd missed the shop update. So she hasn't done MellyKnits. It's MellyKnits.com, MellyKnits on Instagram. She has not had an update in months because she was prepping for Knit City. And then after Knit City, whatever she had left over, she was putting in the shop and putting it live. And life got busy and I missed the update. And then later that evening, I sat down to knit, looked on Instagram, and she had posted that she found another box and put it on. So I immediately went and was like, or no, it was the next day. Was it the next day? I don't remember. I was like, it's meant to be, because it was a merino sampler of net, like it's what I wanted. It wasn't there when I checked. It was there the next day. So I got it. I'm very excited to spin through it and play with it. But I don't have any merino fleece. And I was like, I wonder what the alpaca and merino would look like. So the neat thing about sweet little MellyKnits is she includes a lock with her carded little batlings. So I took this, which is Windborne Farm from Pennsylvania, Jeff Rupert. I wonder if that's the shepherd or the name of the sheep. It's a merino cross. So I took the little lock and I carded, like opened it up, weighed it, added until I had 1 gram, like just pulled off a little tiny piece of this. I got 1 gram of the merino, and then I took 1 gram of my alpaca, carded it together, and this is what it made. It's so soft. So that's how we got that. But my favorite was this one, which is this Shetland alpaca. I don't know, my lighting is not the best. So I decided to blend up a bat. So I took, can't remember how much, I think 10 and 10. What did I do with that skein of yarn? Oh. And this was the skein. I think it's about 20 grams. Yeah, it was. 10 grams of the Shetland and 10 grams of the alpaca. And this is the Shetland. Oh. Opened up. And this is the alpaca. It's like, no, we don't want to focus. You can see quite a bit of difference in staple length. I did not find it an issue really while spinning. The alpaca is very slippery, like on its own. Usually when there's a huge difference like in staple length like that, it's a bit harder to spin. I didn't really find that. I don't know, but I did really take my time with carding it and made sure it was like very well carded. So again, this is the yarn we got. It turned out great. We just did a 2-ply, and this is the what is it called? It's not the sample, it's the swatch. So we did, I think 3mm and 5mm up here. It's super soft. I really like it. I think if I'm going to spin for a sweater, I would do a 2-ply. Nope, I would do a 3-ply. And I just think, I don't think I would need to dye it or anything. I think that's a really pretty, it's heathered. I think those 2 colors just blend really nicely. And it's so soft. It'll be a bit drapey. I love it. I'm so excited. And what else? Oh, so while I was like blending, well, actually, just now, today, while I was like setting all my stuff around me, so when I sat down, I could just like grab it. We chatted. I sat down and I looked and I was like, oh, I forgot I had that. And that would be this. I've had this for a while. I got this from my local yarn shop. A woman came in to shop and she actually has Angora rabbits. And so that's what this is. A bunch of Angora. So I was thinking I could do a sample and I can take one of these grays from Melly. Right, that's gray. That's brown and gray. Take one of these and some of this and some of this and blend it and see like a merino alpaca Angora yarn and see what we get, because I have a feeling it's going to be amazing. And oh, now I've got fuzz and stuff all over me. I think it's going to make a beautiful yarn, and now I'm really excited to blend some up. And then I thought I could maybe so these are, I think, 25 grams samples. So I was thinking I can split those in half, spin them as is so I have samples of them, and then use the other ones to kind of blend and mix with the alpaca or maybe some other fleece I have, and just kind of, she calls them play dates or speed dates, where she takes like one main wool and then she blends it with kind of others, so you can kind of get a feel of this is what that yarn looks or spins and how it, the yarn you get from that, but you can blend it with this and that's what you get, or you can blend it with this. So I was thinking about doing like my own little speed dates of like the fleece I have, just to get a better idea. You know, each fleece is different. So like these are all merino, but you know, even just touching them, you can feel a difference. So I just think it would be fun to just sample and play. I also like, wait, come on. These mini skeins give me life. Like they're just the cutest. I love them. You know, my color ones were my favorite. I love them so much. I don't know, it's weird. You guys are probably like, you're a weirdo. Well, hopefully not, because you're watching, which hopefully means you're a fiber nerd like I am. Anyways, I'm really excited for these. A few reasons. One, like I said, I've never really played with merino that's been hand processed. I also like have been debating about like reserving a merino fleece, and this will give me a better idea. Also, it lets me try from a few different farms that maybe I can, like if I absolutely love it, like I'm like, hey, can I reserve a fleece for next year? But also because one, Apple Creek merino fleece are very hard to get your hands on. And hello, Apple Creek merino, are you there? Why, yes I am. I'm right here. So I'm excited to be able to spin a bit from her flock. And y'all, this is Australian merino lamb, 13 to 14 microns of butter. It is the softest. It is softer than the cashmere. It is the softest thing I've ever felt. I mean, it's as soft as the Angora. And Angora is like extremely soft. I'm very excited. I think I'm gonna spin all this as one, just to have the most of it, to maybe, I don't know. I was thinking, depending on how much I get, like the inner part of like maybe a hat, or like the ribbing of a hat, because it's just so soft. I know I won't have enough to really make something, maybe enough to make a little Sophie scarf. I don't know. I'm losing daylight. Anyways, I'm just so excited. Sampling is my, I think I go, like, there's an ebb and a flow to like spinning where like I really want to spin through like braids or do a big spin for sweaters. But the sampling, the playing, the mixing, the seeing, if I take this and do this, what do I get? That's where my happy place is. It's also, I think, like immediate. Like spinning up this whole braid will take a while, but I don't know where did I put ya? Oh, spinning up 2 grams takes like 5 minutes. Like I can literally spin, bracelet, ply, like wind it off into a bracelet and then ply 10 minutes and have a little skein. So I think that I like the satisfaction of like immediate satisfaction, which I'm working on and slowly, but I think that's why I enjoy sampling so much, because in the matter of like an hour, you have all these cute little skeins. I love it. All right. That's all. That's all I have so far. Oh, blending. So I used my cotton cards for blending. So I weighed an ounce, put them together, put them on the cotton cards, and just went back and forth until I felt it was nicely blended. I'd say probably about 5 or 6 passes, maybe more. And then for this, I put it through my drum carder 4 times. 3 times. Fed it in, took it off, broke it apart, put it back in, took it off, broke it apart, put it through back in. 3 times. And we got a nice blend. My drum carder, it's rather like standard drum carder, 72 TPI. And it worked fine for I was a little nervous putting the alpaca through. I thought it would kind of not blend well, but it did. And I did try and sandwich it between the wool, so that may have helped. And that's it. Plans. I don't really have a ton other than sampling. I'd like to at least sample this. Like, I'd like to spin them all. But for the next episode, I would like to have at least a skein, a small, even if it's a small skein of each of these to show you what these bats turn into. So again, that's these. So you can see them all real quick. We've got like a greenish blue, a pinky, a yellow, a purple, and a blue unicorn one. So I'd like to at least have a little bit of each of those spun, if not all of it. More samples. I'd like to have the merino sampling to chat a bit about, which I think will be an interesting conversation because it's all merino. It's all fleece, merino fleece. But I'll try and keep notes as I'm spinning each one, like how it's different. So I think that'll be a good chat. Mixing the Angora with alpaca and merino, and maybe even other fleeces too. Maybe we can do our own Angora one, where it's Angora and alpaca, Angora, alpaca, and merino, Angora and CBM. So then we have another little sampler with this. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Oh, this, I think I was showing you guys this earlier. So this is some hand spun Jacob. I spindle spun this. And I'm going to use this to cast on the Purl Soho Classic Ribbed Hat because they are having a knit along that starts this Friday the 13th, that runs through November. I just think it'd be fun. My son's been asking for a hat, and I saw that knit along and I was like, hey, it's perfect. he's also got a birthday coming up in December, so we can get that done and for him. What else? Oh, the stripe pipe. Once I'm done with the Sunday sweater by Petite Knit, did I say that? I plan on casting on for the stripe pipe. I have the yarn. I bought the yarn. I really want that sweater for this fall. Like that is I really want this. I think this will be nice. The Lento and the Sela are like very throw on, like sweatshirt type sweaters. My Alpenglow is like a color work, warm. This is more like a dressy. I feel like this will be a bit more of a dressy sweater. And then this stripe pipe will be another just like throw on pair of jeans. Super cute. So I really want to cast that on, but I'm limiting myself. I'm waiting until this is done to do that. So hopefully next time this will be a finished object and I'll have cast on the stripe pipe. Probably not, knowing me. But those are my plans. I reserve the right to change all of them if necessary. And where are we at? 56 minutes? That's not bad. I thought it would go longer. One last thing. I wasn't going to talk about it, but I guess I may. Let's pull it all over here. I need to eat. I don't know if you can hear my stomach growling like a crazy lunatic right now. All right, let's set all this stuff back. My other plan, this is long-term project plan. So, can you hear it? It's making so much noise. Okay, I had that swatch of the, there it is. Okay, so these yarns are these yarns that I swatched with. And I have enough. If I want to just, I need to choose if I'm going to do, like buy the main color and use these, or just buy all new yarn for this. I may just buy all new yarn for this because I had set these aside for the Heirloom Quilt Cardigan by Katrin Seeberger. You probably know what I'm talking about. It's like all over the Ravelry and everywhere for a hot minute. So these colors, I have a huge skein of this brown, and I have a ton of this Falkland that I could spin up also, and I have a ton of these Corriedale samples, which is what these colors are, that I could add to it. And I thought it'd be really neat to have like a hand spun version of the Heirloom Quilt Cardigan, because it's like an heirloom piece that will last forever, and it's all out of hand spun. What do you guys think of these colors? And I was thinking about spinning this up and adding it to it, and maybe one more. Did I put one over there? Maybe not one more. With this brown, I don't know. But that's like long-term thinking. I did buy the pattern, and I'm kind of going through, like, because she gives you like weights. Like, she doesn't give you exact like yardage. She gives you like weights and different things. So I don't know if I'd have enough of these colors. I don't know. We're gonna see. But that's my long-term, like, I don't plan on really focusing on this or anything. I would like to do a swatch, which then just becomes like a quilt block for the cardigan, and just seeing what, like, if these would work. These would need to be held double, which means it's even less yardage and I don't want to buy more Corriedale. One, because I have before and I did not get the same color. But like I said, I have a ton more. Like I have a lot of solids. I have a ton of these still from the Corriedale samplers because I bought all the colorways. I think I could make something work. But again, I don't plan on having that done for like, maybe next fall, focusing on that. I don't know. Those are my thoughts. That doesn't go there. That goes there. That goes there. Okay. That is all I have for you, lovely people. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully you found it interesting. Maybe not, but hopefully, if you've sampled or done little samples of things, show me. I'd love to see them. Tell me about them. Tell me what you've been spinning. Have you been like sampling anything if you've been spinning? Where are you at? Like if you're a spinner and a knitter, like are you really focusing on spinning? Like as fall is coming and like we're settling into fall, do you find that you're knitting more or that you're spinning more? Because I'm finding I'm knitting more than previously. Like I really, like sampling is calling to me and sitting at my wheel to sample, yes. But knitting is like where I'm finding my most joy right now. And I'm wondering if anyone else is feeling that way or if maybe it's just me. And that's it, I think. So thanks again for joining me. It's been fun. I talked about the knit along. I don't think I said, did I say MellyKnits? Every Tuesday she does sneak attacks. Follow her on Instagram. Like if you're maybe wanting hand processed fleece to play with, but like you're not wanting to like do it yourself, she does it all. She washes it, she cards it, she sends it. It's really fun. The samplers I can highly recommend because I like sampling and they're just fun. But she's doing a huge, well, I don't know if it's huge, but like a big shop update on end of October 29th, I think she said. So keep an eye. I know I get a lot of questions about like, can I buy like washed fleece, or it can't, like where can I get my hands on hand processed like fiber? You know, I don't have the equipment, I don't have a carder, I don't have hand cards, like I don't have a fleece, but I would like to like try spinning these things. MellyKnits. She's in Canada, so, but it didn't take that long. I'm all the way down in Florida. I ordered it. She shipped it the next day, or no, she shipped it that day because I ordered it in the morning. Yes, shipped it that day, and I had it a week later. Not even like I think it was Monday I ordered it, and I had it the following Monday. I want to say, I don't know. Anyways, all that to say, be on the lookout for a shop update if that is something that interests you. And I will see you guys next time. Hopefully it won't be too long, but again, this season is super busy and I don't know. Hopefully I will be able to sit down though and record a spin and chat. I feel like those are quicker, they're more to the point, answering your questions. Whereas I put off kind of recording this because like as the days went on, I kept like there was more and more, and I'm like, it's gonna take so long. I don't have an hour and a half to sit and talk through all of this stuff. Whereas spin and chats are quicker. So maybe, I don't know, maybe a spin and chat, hopefully an episode end of October, beginning of November. And I will see you guys then. Now I gotta pick up all my mess. Enjoy your fall. Happy knitting. Happy spinning. And I will see you guys next time.